All right, good morning, guys. Welcome to Fishful Thinker. I'm Chad LaChance. This is Matt Reed. We're getting after him. We're in Mexico. Not something you normally see with us out of Fishful Thinker here, but we are on Texas vacation. This is day 2, and early, well, not real early in the morning, but early in the morning. We got some cloud cover this morning. Matt, what do you think we can expect from today?
Hopefully we get after them today and they'll bite a little bit. They'll cooperate. You know, there's a lot of fish moving in the shallow water, and you know, if we can get us a little breeze and maintain a little bit of cloud cover, hopefully they'll bite a little better for us.
There you go. It sounds like fun. You guys stay tuned, get comfortable. It should be interesting.
Fishful Thinker Television is brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter. Peterson Toyota and Toyota Trucks, moving forward. St. Croix Rod, best rods on earth. Berkeley, catch more fish. Abu Garcia, for life. Fishful Thinker Television is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Evinrude, spend more time on the water. Lawrence, find, navigate, dominate.
We're on a 2-day vacation. We're on day 2, and yesterday we got high bright sun and real calm. It's the first warm day that you've had out here in a while. Fishing was extremely tough, and so we're on vacation. We don't care. We went home, we had a big ribeye, we had us a couple of beers and regrouped. Now we're out here on day 2. We're gonna see how this goes for us. You know, I think one thing that's important to keep in mind is you gotta be realistic when you're gonna go somewhere, especially someplace you haven't been. They're not always gonna bite right off the bat, and this has been very much combat fishing. As you can see, we're not exactly fishing a lot of open water. And so it's kept us honest yesterday, so no problem. We're on vacation. You keep a good attitude, come out the next day and get after them, and that's definitely our plan today. What do you think for adjustments today?
I think we're gonna, you know, continue to ply the shallow water a little bit. They're trying to come in and spawn. They've been wanting to for 3 or 4 weeks, and it finally got warm. So, you know, there should be a lot of fish moving in. We'll, you know, throw the swamper spinnerbait a bunch. We're also gonna flip some, so. We're just gonna cover as much shallow water as we can, Chad, and see if we can stumble across us some big old fish.
I like the plan. I can tell you one thing, if we get a flipping bite going, that ought to be interesting to see how that pans out. These fish are, for folks that aren't familiar with Falcon Lake, these are some big old aggressive bass. Any one of these casts could very easily be, especially, I find most of them are in the lake. I don't generally catch them that far above the water.
Fish on.
All right, right.
Just a regular.
Right. I just barely got spit out that I feel better about today. You got that one?
I got that little sucker.
There you go.
Come on, you little male. Get up here.
We're a couple minutes, literally, guys, a couple of minutes into our day. That's the smallest fish we've seen in 2 days.
Just a little old
and
male.
It's still a beautiful fish. Look at the dark colors on him.
That's pretty. Water's nice and clear in here now.
Oh, yeah, that's good looking.
Go on back and finish your business.
Now, like I said, guys, yesterday, we're on day 2 of our vacation, and yesterday was very difficult, very tough day, and as far as catching went, and it was just extremely sunny and hot, and I'm all for that because it's February, and we came down from our normal stomping grounds in Colorado, and it was cold when we left, so happy to be out here. It's supposed to be 80-some degrees later today. We'll see how that works out. We are throwing what, 50-pound braid on here at this point. So we got the goat rope and the big sticks out. We're not, this is not finesse fishing, this is combat fishing. A big part of getting these fish and not just getting them to bite is getting them to the boat. So we'll see how that works out.
Fish on.
Ooh,
there's a good one.
There we go.
Come on,
Let me get this bait up and out of the way here.
Come over here, honey.
Okay.
Ah.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Come
Look
on,
at
there
the
you
colors on that
All
fish.
right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that is a fresh fish
Do
coming
not
in. There
swing
you go.
that
Get that little
one.
sucker. There we go.
Did I mention this is Elite Series Pro right here? We're like 5 minutes of fishing, literally.
Something on that order.
And look at
I
that, you
love the
ate
color.
that
That
thing.
fish has just come in. She's real.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let me
well
get this
marked
bait
and
out of
just
here.
good color.
So you're telling me this fish was out in the main lake probably just recently?
Yeah,
and just
I mean, this
moved
color
in.
looks to me that the fish has moved in. It's real bright colored and real clean looking fish. Good way to start the day.
Oh man, I guess. See, that's why we had ribeyes last night.
That's
so
right.
we could change up our luck. Holy smokes, what a beautiful fish that is, huh? How about them apples, people? Here you go, baby.
You're out of here. Thank you, girl.
Oh
Appreciate
man,
it.
holy! I better get my fishing shoes on because for whatever reason I'm taking whooping right now, and I'm fine with that.
I owe these fish a payback from yesterday. Okay.
I'll tell you what, we talk all the time, fish with people that are really good at what they do and you'll learn whatever. So any chance I get to get in with a guy like this who catches fish for a living against other people, in other words, all over the country, you pay attention to what's going on, and we're gonna get us a lesson today. I have a feeling that's just all there is to it. We always talk accuracy, we always talk line control, we always talk balanced tackle. If you miss any of that in this situation, you're done. You will struggle, you will frustrate yourself, you will break stuff, you will just not have a good outing at all if you don't think about those fundamentals on a place like this. Tournament bassers in general spend a lot of time, all your time, trying to figure out how to establish a pattern of some sort. The thing what I guess I want to get at is fish coming to you. In other words, a pattern that will hold up over a couple days. You got to be thinking ahead.
Sure.
Not where they are today, but where they're going to be on Thursday, Friday of the tournament, or Saturday, Sunday of the tournament, late in the tournament, I should say, as opposed to, and so a situation like this where the first couple fish look to be fresh off the lake, you could theoretically assume that there'll be more of them that show up again tomorrow, right?
Right.
As long as the weather stays warm.
Right. One thing that always happens in a multi-day event is there's always more fish in an area than you think there are.
Sure.
You have to just change and figure out ways to catch those fish a lot of times, especially if if you're pounding the same area quite a bit. A lot of times you have to vary your techniques and stuff, and that a lot of times help you pick up an extra fish here and there.
Yeah.
One fish can make a huge difference in the game.
Yeah, and I mean, you're fishing for 5, and we're doing that today too. We're going to see if we can rack up 5 and see what those 5 would look like, or bare minimum of 5. But I mean, the tournament game is all about how heavy 5 can you catch. That's what it comes down to, always. I don't get really super hung up on color like a lot of guys do. If I'm in the range, there's a lot of stuff about the spinnerbait they're going to notice in terms of speed, blades, and profile and all that before they're going to key on the color.
This spinnerbait actually is my signature spinnerbait that's being made for Profound Outdoors under the Swamper brand, and a cool spinnerbait for heavy cover. It's got a good, a good strong wire where you can throw a big line and not destroy it, and good blades, great hook. So it's designed to come through this cover really well. And one thing I always want to do, I want to throw a spinnerbait that's heavy enough that I can control the cast better. Also, it lets me make a good presentation. I can keep that thing going slow enough that I can keep the blades moving real good at a slow speed and keep it down a little bit.
Sure.
But right now these fish are kind of cool. They're not supercharged aggressive, so you need to slow it down and keep it right at the edge of visibility. And if you had a real light one, you can't do that and keep the blades turning right. So
Right. And like I said, the controllability part of it, being able to throw it
it's huge.
Really close is really good. And you guys, if you watch as I'm casting, you'll notice I'll steer the bait in the air even, which is something, I mean, it's great. You see it on TV and it's hard to really see what's going on, but a lot of the time as the bait's in the air, I'll be steering it because I'm trying to get it over the top of some of the branches or whatever the case might be, as opposed to just throwing a straight line cast, So a lot of nuances go into being really good about throwing a bait in cover like this. And I'm not gonna tell you I'm the best at it by any stretch, but I just don't get a chance to do it as much as, say, an Elite Series Pro. But first you have to throw with confidence. And second, you have to be cognizant all the time of where that bait is in the air, where it's headed, and how your line's gonna lay out between you and there. Because I think Matt actually already mentioned the fact that if you're doing any sort of a lob or anything like that, you're gonna spend a lot of time fighting your baits, not your fish.
Yeah, and it's funny, you'll get the bait to land in the right place, but if you don't control your line, it's always up over a limb or something.
Right.
Fish on.
Boom, there we go. There we go. Look at him go.
Another little old male. I'll swing her up here.
There, you got that? You gonna swing that one?
Oh yeah,
there
come
you
here.
Go. That's another one that's looking relatively clean, dark colored.
It is a male though, so it's coming in. Let's just see something.
Got this.
See, usually if a fish will pee when you squeeze on it, that's a fish that's coming in to spawn. It's a male that's getting ready.
He did not.
He did not, but he's been there for just a little while. Just a little old male. Glad to have him.
I'm glad to have him.
Go on back, finish your business.
There you go, right there, right on that tree, right there. I mean, point blank range, right there. I'm just not gonna put the spinnerbait down. I'm just.
Fishful Thinker Television is brought to you by Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors. Peterson Toyota and Toyota Trucks, moving forward. Lawrence, find, navigate, dominate.
There's a good one. This is a good one.
That's a big one.
Oh yeah, there comes the Falcon special. Get out behind that tree,
anything
baby.
I can do
Come
to
on,
help.
get it. Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's a horse.
Oh, come here, honey.
Oh, buddy, no pressure, Chad, no pressure.
Okay, come on. Come on, baby. There's what we're looking for.
Come here,
Get over here.
Come here, fish.
All right. Get you some of that one, Mr. Colorado.
Holy crap, dude. Look at the size of that largemouth. Good night. Here,
Welcome.
Get that out of there. Let me get you this back. Now, I can just reach down there with my whole hand. Oh, he tried to get me with his crushers. I got that back from way down in there.
I love it when they're hooked like that.
Oh, man. What a donkey. Can I hold this for a minute?
Sure,
I just don't get to
have
hold
it.
giants like that very often.
That's
Look
what
at
we're
that.
looking for.
Look at the size of the gaping maw on that thing. Good Lord, there you go, buddy. I think we should get a still picture of that picture real quick. All right, there you go. Good
Thank you, girl.
night. That is
Let's
a
get back
horse.
in here and go back and finish your business.
Look at that.
All right, get on out of there. There you go. Thank you.
Now, just for the record, I've got blood, that's mine. These fish got teeth right here. I stuck my hand in there and it cut my palm on his lip. That's how hard I wasn't gonna let him go, just for the record. Once I got out.
All right.
I'll tell you what, I mean, got my glasses all messed. Just so people get the idea. Besides the fact that it's a huge fish, he was around that tree, then this tree before he got over to here. Your bait held up.
Get you some rope and start
Good
winding.
Lord, this is not finesse fishing.
One of the keys when I'm tying a Palomar knot in braid, which is what I tie in braid, it doesn't slip good, go ahead and make your normal move with it. Tie it through, take your bait through. This is where I do something a little different. Instead of pulling it down to the bait, I cinch it up to my finger, okay? And then that makes it cinch down real tight with that braid without having it wrinkle up on
Bind up
itself.
on the braid, sure.
Pull it up to your finger, cinch it to your finger, and then slide it down. And that's an easy way to tie a Palomar knot in braid.
Well, and it worked real nice. And I guarantee you one thing, I'll vouch for the knot strength because I've seen that. Thank you, Mr. Reed.
All right.
Yesterday we struggled. The fish were a lot tougher to catch yesterday, and we didn't have any. This is windier than it was all day yesterday right now. And wind's your friend. I've said that for many, many years. Wind is your friend. A lot of guys will run to the windiest places all the time. And yesterday there was no wind, not even a puff of wind on the lake. And that made for a pretty tricky day of fishing. But if you're gonna do a vacation and you're gonna go somewhere and you're gonna rent a guide, especially if you're gonna go out with a guide, you know, understand that any given day the weather could get you. No guide out there is gonna have them pinned up and ready to go, or no good guide anyway. So, I mean, yeah, you work to try to find them, but the reality of the situation is a lot of times if you're gonna go on a fishing vacation, plan at least a couple of days if you can, and preferably 3, because you'll have a better chance of having at least one of those days pay off, and that's the key, the whole thing. fish.
Fish on, there we go, be a good one. Coming
I don't
to
think
us.
he's
a little
giant.
bit. Oh, it's a big
That's
one.
a nice one.
Get out of that tree,
Come
I'm
on,
going away.
baby. Come on, he's in there.
Oh, just hold tight, I'm headed there.
I got him.
All right, come on.
There we go. All right.
Oh, there you go, Mr. LaChance. Get out of that tree.
All right, he's coming right there.
One more. You want
Hit
this?
the road,
You want this?
There you go. Booyah! Holy smokes, I got one. That's that right there, people. That's the juice
There's
right there.
Man.
Look at
There's
that,
another
perfect.
Falcon special, Mr. LaChance.
Holy, look at the crushers back in there on this thing. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at them giant maw. Holy moly.
Get you some of that.
Oh, we're gonna box this one and get some still photos, but people, that's why you go on vacation in Texas. Everything really is bigger in Texas, apparently.
Fishful Thinker Television is brought to you by Sportsman's Warehouse, America's premier outfitter. St. Croix Rod, best rods on earth. Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
That fish was out here in a relatively open, and it wasn't a real super hard bite.
Oh, it just stops.
It
Reach
just,
up there and get it.
it wasn't like a thump.
And what that was, that's a little bit deeper out there. It's nearly 4 foot.
Yeah, and you're right, it just stopped. I mean, I was pulling on it along, it's like do. Yeah, and I got that drag cranked for all it's worth. I've got a Revo STX on here, and I've got that, and they're famous for their drag. They make 24 pounds of drag pressure, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but that's a little tiny spool, so 24 pounds of drag's a lot, and I can tell you right now, you'll test them here with straight braid. I mean, that's 50-pound braid, and the drag cinched for all it's worth, and me winding for all my scrawny butt's worth to get that fish around the right side of that tree. And Matt, we got cover all around us, all kinds of cover. We seem to be throwing all of it. I've been trying to kind of watch and decipher how you're choosing, and you don't appear to be choosing. What's the deal with that?
Well, a lot of times when you got all different types of cover in an area, you can determine which one they're using. And man, that helps you eliminate water quickly. And you know, that's a great thing. And when you catch one, you need to pay attention to that.
Sure.
I wish right now we could do that. You know, they just seem to be using all the cover in here, so you just have to fish it all real thoroughly. But it's really great if you can identify the hardwood, this type of plant, the center bean or the ratama, or anywhere you are, the different types of cover, because normally they'll use one of them more than they will the other.
And that'll maybe even change over the course of a season or a day.
Oh, sure.
And actually I mean, you look right in front of us right here, it looks like that's open water, but there's so much junk underneath here. Like if I throw a cast right out there, it just as easy to get bit as throwing up around this visible stuff because there's so much stuff under the water. And in fact, last fish I caught was done that way. So the stuff on ours directly behind me right here with all the nasty bushes, that's actually the deep spot where the reason those bushes grew there is that held moisture when it was drought wise. So that's actually deeper water behind us. So there is some structure in here.
Right.
Fish right here, there we go. Now we're gonna keep him, don't jump. Now fortunately it's not a giant, oh, he's hooked up all kind of goofy. You think I can swing him?
Yeah, swing him in here.
And the next time he comes up in here, we got one. There we go, guys. Now that's my first fish on anything other than a spinnerbait. And the only reason I'm doing it is because I love these conditions for a square bill crankbait, and I've been absolutely stroking this crankbait as fast as I can reel that little crankbait right there, and that is not a giant bass, but for Colorado it'd be a great fish. Here on Falcon it is not, but I'll tell you what, beautiful fish, happy to have him, and he's a little beat up too. He's played the fishing game too.
Net.
Oh, a net, I forget about the net, so we'll put him back. That's a pretty fish though.
Yeah, neat little bass.
Oh yeah,
We'll take him every day.
There you go. So I made a good adjustment there. The spinnerbait's been working great, and I know I'm probably an idiot. It hadn't been 30 seconds since I just asked everyone in the boat, am I an idiot for throwing it? But I feel like doing something slightly different than him, and also, most importantly, a whole bunch faster. This bait's going 3 times fast as that spinnerbait's going. And I've only been fishing it for maybe 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes, and got one bite it. So there you go. That's why you make adjustments.
That's right. All right, baby, come on up here and give me.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
All right, there you go.
And just for the record, he missed this fish a minute ago. And re-rigged, retied, threw back. Oh my God, that thing is a horse. Dude, are you kidding me? Let me get that out there for you. You weren't going to lose him the second time.
No, I was wondering if she didn't break me. But...
Oh my God, look at that thing. Look at that thing.
You like that one? They make those here.
Are you kidding me? Look at this right here. Did you see this fish?
Just a regular small fish.
Lucky number 7.
Oh, just a little male.
That's a perfect one. I love him. He's beautiful. You gonna swing him?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna swing him up here.
Okay, whenever you think
just
he's
a little old small falcon male. But
look at his black lips on there. What's that all about?
Yeah, it looks like he's probably been a previous release.
I want to get a good close on that thing. That's a cool looking fish.
Come on, buddy.
You got him. I'll tell you one thing. These fish that have bit have not.
Show him a little love.
I'm gonna show. I'm not gonna kiss this one. Somebody kiss this one that should not have kissed it. How crazy is that? Look, it's a peeing male.
Yep, it's ready to be.
There you go. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get him back quick because for one, he's peeing all over your pretty boat.
Oh well, that won't hurt a thing.
Look at that. They're so pretty. All these fish are pretty.
Go back home, honey.
Man, I gotta tell you.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, we've been on there, Texas vacation. Well, you know what happens is, we're gonna put that camera down. Mrs. Fishful, Mr. Reed, and Mr. Timothy Farnsworth, who's behind the camera, are gonna get our fish on. Thank you, thank you.
Man, had a great time, enjoyed it. Glad you got to see a fish or two of the right size.
Oh man, we saw some beautiful fish. Guys, MattReedBassPro.com.
That'll get it.
Check him out there, check him out on Facebook. Always fun interacting with Facebook with Matt Reed here. Get a chance to get out with an Elite Series Pro that's also guiding is a rare opportunity, and to do so on a lake like this is amazing and really cool deal. So we appreciate you guys watching. Check us out on Facebook at Fishful Thinker, of course at fishfulthinker.com. Most importantly, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. This is good looking stuff right here. I'm gonna keep my bait in the water is what I'm thinking over.
Just reach over and grab it.
Okay.
Careful, you.
Yeah, cut my line. Ow, that thing's sharp. Right, I'll just cut it, no problem. Are you kidding me?
Ah!
Holy crap, that thing's sharp. Ouch, that's sharp. Holy crap, those things are sharp. Oh, are you kidding? Ouch, ouch. Time out.